Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Empower Hour. It's going to be a interesting one today. There is much, much going on in the world of Jehovah Witnesses that is triggering a lot of ex-witnesses, and I feel a need to step it up. I feel a need to help people kind of combat what's going on because it's very manipulative. It's a very manipulative thing that is happening, that's affecting a lot of people. As most of you know, I don't spend a lot of time dwelling on what the Jehovah Witnesses do, but I feel a calling to really help people so that this doesn't affect them as much as it has been affecting them. It's it's a difficult choice. I mean, and whenever you step it up, you get a whole lot more of everything, the good and the bad. But I think it's really important for people in the group or ex-witnesses in general to really know what's important, to really grasp what's important so that you can move in a kind of alignment that you haven't moved with before in your life. When you get yourself to a certain level, a lot of things won't affect you. And the witnesses are using a lot of manipulative things to poke at your heart. It's emotional blackmail. There's a lot of emotional blackmail going on right now, and it's affecting a lot of people. The people that run that organization, the leaders, are truly evil. The people that run that organization, the governing body, and the people that run it, they basically have your loved ones under a spell. That's why when you talk to them, it's something's not connecting. They work to disconnect you from your natural humanness, your natural human compassion, your natural human kindness, your natural the oneness that all of us have. They work to disconnect people from it, and they use tools that have been used through history. Adolf Hitler used the same kind of tools, lots of propaganda, lots of repetition, and look how many people Adolf Hitler was able to mislead. Well, it's the same thing. You can use the same thing for good or bad. You had somebody like Martin Luther King who used the same abilities for good, but they are using that to disconnect people from their natural emotions. And when you look at yourself, and when I say that you were under a spell or they're under a spell, look at the way it was when you woke up. It was like suddenly in a day, in a week, I mean, like that, you could see through everything. Suddenly, everything looked different. The second you woke up, you could see through everything. It's like you got x ray glasses, you could see through everything. And it was very obvious to you, like that. When it's like that, you were under a spell. And what's happening today is there is an unraveling going on. What's happening today is it's like when certain industries phase out and they're not needed anymore, they don't fit society, then the town is a ghost town, right? You'll see a town, it's a ghost town. Well, they used to mine such and such here, and the mining dried up, and now it's a ghost town. Well, that is happening for certain kinds of doomsday religions. They were doomsday religions. A lot of them came out in the 1800s. And there were a lot of things to be fearful of, right? In America, coming out of the Civil War, which was in the 1860s, right? So much unrest going into World War One, so much unrest before World War One, 1914 and World War One. The Spanish flu, the plague. I mean, there were so many things back then that were so overwhelmingly um, seem insurmountable. We had the Great Depression, all these things that could be used as fear mongering to put fear in people, and to have the answer to what's going on, the new world, or the end of the world is coming and only certain people will be saved. Well, that was something that worked for a certain generation of people. There was a certain generation of people that were easy to fool. You have to remember, this was a generation that bought into the crazy stuff at the traveling circus and the snake oil salesman, and they were very gullible generation of people. That the last of that generation is on its way out, and you have a new generation that is not so gullible. The world in general is moving. There's an awakening. There is a different kind of consciousness that is on the planet today, where people can see things that they didn't see before. These kids coming up are very different. You can't rule them with fear. So because you can't rule them with fear, you'll watch things like the Watchtower start loosening things up, because you've got to try a different tactic, because the fear doesn't work. The doomsday doesn't work, not with the generation coming up, not with people 30 and below, let's say. So things are changing, and because they're not growing, they're going to try to re-engage people that may still be indoctrinated. Maybe you're disfellowship, and they want to go after ones who are still indoctrinated, because with the advent of Google and the internet, preaching doesn't work anymore. It's never going to work. You're not going to tell someone not to Google. So I say all this to prepare all of you so that you can stand firm, and you can start to look at the truth of what you need to focus on, so you focus on the right thing, so that you become a fortress yourself. The truth of the matter is, you are disconnected from yourself as a child if you were raised a witness. For some of you, it happened later. You are disconnected from your gifts, from your talents, from the callings, the things that you wanted to do. You are disconnected from who you were. And every human being has different gifts, talents, and abilities. You have something that makes you uniquely you. But then you were encased in this religion of fear, of doom, of doubt. You were told that you weren't good enough. One of the biggest lies that you were ever told is this inherent sin, where something's inherently wrong with you, that you never felt good enough in that organization. You never felt enough. You never could do enough. And everything I'm saying, you can double that if you are a woman. You weren't seen. You weren't validated as a person. You were validated for being one of the collective. You were validated for your service to an organization, but not for you as an individual. So now it is time for you to start seeing yourself as an individual. Now it's time for you to start seeing your worthiness, who you are. For some of you who feel very lost right now, like you're neither here nor there, and you're searching for something, understand that what you're searching for is within you. What you're searching for is within you. You are searching for yourself, and you're not going to find it out there. One of the things that witnesses will tell you when you leave is, if this isn't the truth, what is? Understand that this world is so vast, human beings know nothing. There is no truth to find, there's just growth. Truth is so massive, so big, so beyond our comprehension that you're not going to find truth. You're not going to. You can move towards a truer truth. What was true 100 years ago, a lot of it, most of it, we laugh at today. And 100 years from now, I think we'll laugh even harder because there's so much to understand. But what religions like the Witnesses do is they make everything very man-like. They make God very man-like. Man attributes. He gets upset real easy. He's jealous. He's all these man qualities. And all that is to embed you with fear. Embed you with fear so you can be led by men. What men do is they attach themselves to God. They attach themselves. And then they fool you thinking that if you obey them, you're obeying God. That's what they do. That's what the Watchtower does. Excuse me. Even when people get baptized today, they are pledging themselves to the organization. You see, so what they do is they put the organization in place of God and its men, and men use fear. Understand that everything in the world, everything in the world, everything in the universe is about frequency and vibration. The Jehovah's Witnesses is a very low frequency, very low vibration religion. Why? Because it's based in fear. Fear is of the lowest of vibrations. The way you combat that is to be in love. And the reason why I am doing this broadcast today in this way is to get as many people on board to understand that it is love that is your biggest sword. See, a lot of people leave their organization and they want to be an activist and they want to fight the organization, but they haven't raised their frequency. They're of the same frequency they were in the organization, which means you're swinging in a dark room. You're just swinging at stuff. But who put the room together? The Witnesses did. They know where everything is. You combat that darkness with light. You combat that darkness with your light. You combat that darkness by you shining, and the only way you shine is to go within and to know who you are. And when you're certain of self, none of this stuff bothers you at all. And the way we are going to combat this organization is to have enough people who are shining in their love. People don't know what to do with that because love is the answer. When you come from a place of love, watch people just get quiet. Love is always the answer. So when you leave an organization like this, understand that the freedom you gain is the freedom to love in a bigger, deeper, unconditional way. Being free from the organization, allow your light to shine. Allow your light to shine. Don't stay in the darkness just being an ex-witness, but you're of the same frequency. Watch your words, watch what you focus on. I can remember in my life, I would say maybe 11 years ago now, 11, 12 years ago, I was in such a negative place. I was in such a place of blame. And I remember my life being so upside down. It was like everything was going wrong. And I did not understand at the time that everything was going wrong because my frequency was in such a low place. You see, everything exists in a vibrational escrow. Where you are existing is what you're attracting. And everything was going wrong. I just could not believe how much was going wrong. And I blamed the Witnesses 100%. I had a business, not a business partner. He worked for me, an elder that worked for me for 13 years. It was my best friend growing up, one of my best friends. And when I left the organization, he became my competitor. And he stole about $600,000 of work a year from me. And I was so upset at him. God, I was so mad. And I was so disgusted at my life. And I was so disgusted at all the friends that abandoned me. And I was just angry. And if you were within, talking distance, you're going to hear my story. But what I didn't realize at the time is that I'm creating the story by what I'm focusing on. That words have power. As human beings, we are the only creatures on the planet that can create what we visualize. And what was I visualizing? What was I focused on? My own doom and gloom. So, what was I creating more of? My own doom and gloom. You see, whatever you focus on and whatever your story is, you're right. If you think something's impossible, you're right. If you think something is within your control and you can bring it to life, you're right. We are always right. That's why I say words can be like curses or it can be prophetic. How do we use our words? And I was in such a pity party. And I remember going to breakfast one morning. I lived in a high rise and I'm going to breakfast. This was in Honolulu, in Hawaii. And I was going to breakfast and I stepped around this homeless man and I went and got my breakfast. And I came back around, I stepped around the same homeless man and I went back up to my apartment and I'm having a pity party. My life sucks. I don't have any friends. I don't have many friends. I lost everything. I was heavily in debt. My business had gone upside down, and my best friend had stole my business. And I had this story. And then I thought about that homeless man. I'm up here complaining in my 34 floor apartment. Here's a picture. Let me see if I can pull this picture up. Here's a picture of my apartment. Well, I'll find it later. Anyway, a beautiful view. I could see the ocean from my bedroom window, and I'm there complaining about my life. I had healthy children, and I'm there complaining about my life. I was healthy myself, no ailments, nothing wrong with me, and I was complaining about my life when I just stepped around a homeless man. And at that moment, I realized how ungrateful I was, that I wasn't looking at any of my blessings in life. I was just looking at what was wrong, and I was just assigning blame. And I took no responsibility for my life. I took no responsibility. Blame, blame, blame. And as long as I blamed, and as long as I was in anger, my life was not going to change. And then I went downstairs and I tapped that homeless man on the shoulder and I went and I bought him breakfast. And I did that every single day. Maybe not breakfast, coffee sometimes. This one old lady would just ask me for $2. I want $2. I give her $2. And I started to write a gratitude list every single morning of what I'm grateful for. And then everything began to shift slowly because now I was in a state of gratitude. I started looking for reasons to love. And I kept working on that until these things had no hold on me anymore. And recently, maybe a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I messaged my old friend, my old witness friend. He didn't respond, but it doesn't matter. I messaged him and said, you know what? It's all good. I have no anger, no resentment at you. I understand why that happened. You see, if I had maintained that business, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. If I had still making that money, I might still be cleaning AC ducts, air conditioning ducts. I don't want to be cleaning air conditioning ducts. See, sometimes what you ask for, I was so sick of that business anyway. And sometimes what you ask for, it comes, but not in the prettiest way. I am glad that a business that came out of my head is still feeding families. I understand that I was needed somewhere else. So when you look at your life, understand that the thing that might be feel so negative might be the thing that needs to happen in your life, but you won't see it if you're only looking at the negative part of it. So begin living in a state of gratitude. That's going to raise your frequency and your vibration. Live in a state of gratitude. Be thankful for what's right in your life. Because as much as we complain about this thing, if something else happens, this doesn't matter anymore. If someone close to you got a terminal diagnosis, or if that were, those kinds of tragic things were to happen to us, suddenly nothing matters. Only that. Control the things you can control and allow yourself to let go of the things you cannot. When you get in this state, all the things the witnesses do won't work anymore because you've gotten peace within yourself. Love. Love is everything. But love needs to start with yourself. Understand that the freedom you get from leaving the witnesses is a freedom to see things differently. The freedom you get from leaving the witnesses is a freedom to love yourself unconditionally also. Remember, a lot of people are in that religion because they have nowhere else to go. A lot of people are in that religion because they were in a vulnerable situation when they were approached, which means they weren't in a state of self-love. They weren't in a state of self-acceptance. They were lost, they were desperate, and they came and filled a void for them. So don't let those people have power over you. Allow yourself to increase and grow. We want all their tactics to be ineffective because you understand unconditional love. When we talk to people, I had a friend here in Vegas just yesterday. She ran into some witnesses in a Starbucks, I believe, and it was someone from Bethel. And very kindly, she explained to this man and his wife and the people sitting there just how much the religion damages people. She explained to these people that she saw goodness in their eyes. She knew they had good intentions, but she laid out things that just blew their mind. She told them why they are making changes. She told them about the history of their religion from a loving way, and said, I see goodness in you. I see, because they were good people. And the way she was speaking and the way she was delivering her message was with such kindness. The wife started to cry, and he sat there with his mouth wide open, not knowing what to say, because the medicine was delivered with love. The medicine was delivered with love. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to do, is even when you speak to witnesses, even if you're trying to explain yourself, do it with love. Don't let emotions rule your life. That's one thing I really want you to know, is getting to a space where you are in control of your emotions is going to help you a lot. You can't always be in control of them, but as much as you can, then people will feel no control over you. You are powerful. You have more in you than you understand. That religion clouded you, it blinded you. And just because you leave the religion, it doesn't mean you're free from the programming of the religion. You see, you have three components of your mind. You have your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your super subconscious. You operate mostly 90%, 95% by your subconscious programming, which is mainly programmed through repetition. How did Adolf Hitler fool so many people? Propaganda, 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 propaganda. When you're told something enough, especially when you're a child, before you can filter out information, it becomes the way you see the world. What you are programmed with before 8 years old becomes the template that you see the world through. So if you think leaving the witnesses is freedom, it's not. Leaving the witnesses is the first step. It's not freedom because they're still programmed as witnesses. You ever notice most of the other Facebook groups, they all act like witnesses? They all bicker about silly things. They all gossip a lot because they're still programmed that way. They're still programmed like witnesses. They project. Witnesses talk about things they have no idea about, don't they? Witnesses are knocking on doors and trying to preach to people, never read their Bible through and through. Most of them never did. Most of them know very little about the book that they're trying to. They're just programmed. Your mind could be like a computer, it's programmed. So until you override the programming, you might be stuck in a loop. When you get triggered by something, it means that whatever it was alive and well in your subconscious mind. And you might have thought you got over it, but you didn't. You just got busy or was ignoring it. And when something like what just happened with the witnesses happens, everybody, so many people get triggered because most people weren't truly over it. So your conscious mind you identify with, that's attached to your five senses. That's how you take in information. But that information gets delivered to your subconscious mind for an analysis and to give you kind of a report on what this is. The meaning of emotion, the meaning and emotions of things are in your subconscious mind. I'm sorry, I thought I heard something outside. So if you want to change things in your life, you must put new things down to a subconscious level. Your super subconscious mind has the job of making you correct about what your subconscious believes. So it's always making you correct. It's giving you, it kind of guides you as to what you take in, what you notice, what you observe. Witnesses want to believe that this is a horrible, horrible world. The world is so horrible that Jehovah needs to bring an end to it. That's what you were programmed to think. Let me show you how this works. You were programmed to think that the world is so horrible, Jehovah needs to bring it to an end. So if that's what you believe, you'll tend to watch the news and take in all the horrible things that's happening, read the newspaper, take in all the horrible things that are happening, read their magazine, which is going to show you all this calamity on this side of the magazine, all the horrible things. You're going to look for ways to validate what you believe. It's horrible, it's horrible, it's horrible, it needs to end. And that becomes your reality. What is reality? Reality is simply what we have accepted as truth. And then we just look for all the negative stuff. If you want to think the world's a wonderful world, then you get up early, you intentionally take in things that inspire you. You might read a chapter of a book that inspires you. You might go exercise. You might go and walk a nice trail and watch the sunrise. And now your super subconscious mind is looking to validate the thought that everything's wonderful. And there's both. We live on a planet of duality. There's always both of everything. But what do you want to focus on? So when you understand how your mind works, you start manipulating your own mind instead of a religion doing it. That's what they're doing. They're manipulating your mind so they can always trigger your emotions. And that's what they're doing now with this emotional blackmail. They are manipulating your emotions like a dog with a little treat. Oh, witnesses can talk to you briefly if you come to the meeting. As long as you play on our one-way street, which leads to the Kingdom Hall, that's not how life works. Life is reciprocal. Life is a two-way street. But get to a place where you step into your power. You step into your power. You get to a place where your life is full of gratitude. You get to a place where you see what's awesome about you. Yes, awesome. You were also taught that something was wrong with that. Don't think too much of yourself. Is the world a better place if I think lesser of myself and then I gossip about others? Or is the world a better place if I know what's awesome about me and I know what's awesome about you? I'm no better than you. I just know what I'm blessed with. And all of you should know what you're blessed with, what you came to this planet with. Don't play small, don't play yourself down. You see, when you step in this power, they know they have nothing on you. I didn't get a memorial invitation. I never get it. They don't fool with me because you know who I am. There is no weakness that you're going to tap into here. None. And all of you can be in the same place. And again, let's double that for women because they were so harsh on you. Women, listen, let go of that junk. They told you so much BS, it's not even funny. This is a group of people. Yes, somebody says it takes work. It absolutely takes work. It absolutely takes work. It's not easy. Remember, the beginning of anything, my friends, is the desire of. It's not the mastery of, it's the desire of. So, whoever wrote it takes work, you're correct. But desire it first. Everything worthy takes work. I'm glad you wrote that. Remember, everything worthy takes work. The things you love the most did not come easy. Childbirth, it's not easy. It's 9 months of carrying a human being, and then it's excruciating pain to deliver it. But it's the thing you value the most. A person who works hard to build a business, and one day he's making $1 million a year, he worked hard for that. If somebody is given a lottery ticket and they win the money with no work, they will blow that money in 24 months. Things that are worthy take work. Be willing to do the work. That's why you're so satisfied on the other side of it. A caterpillar does not just turn into a butterfly. It has to go through the cocoon and it's uncomfortable and it's painful. But when it emerges, it's something else. Yes, it takes work. Look forward to the work. The work is what makes you who you become. The work is what it sharpens you. The work is what makes you. How does a diamond become a diamond? By pressure. How does a pearl become a pearl? By pressure. It's the work that you do in the becoming. That is everything. It's not the becoming, it's the work that you do in becoming. I am glad today, when I look back at that very difficult time of my life, I wouldn't change it for a second because it was coming through that allowed me to be where I am today. All the lessons I learned, that's why I know what I know, because of what I went through. So yes, it takes work. But when you do the work, it's real. When you do the work, you got a solid foundation. Thank you for writing that. It takes work. I lost my point of where I was going before that happened. But anyway, see the greatness in you. Look back at when you were a child. What came easy to you? What do you love? What do you gravitate toward? See, the witnesses took you off your path. They said only this is important. Only field service is important. Oh, sports is not important. Oh, dance is not important. Oh, your academics is not important. Do not believe it's too late. If you're carrying that story, please leave that story behind. Do not believe it's too late. We have a woman in our group, Lila. I hope Lila will watch this, but and then comment on it. But I remember the first time I talked to her, she was 69 years old, and she was just like devastated. She was crying. She had just woken up at 69 years old. Rodney, my whole life's behind me. I'm 69 years old. She was so devastated that her life was behind her. And she did my deprogramming boot camp course, and I worked with her a little bit. She got another therapist that worked with her, and she decided that she was had a dream of writing children's books. That's always been what she wanted to do. She's written 10 books, 4 published. She's 83 years old, I believe, today. 83, 84. I mean, 73 or 74. Let's not age her. 73 or 74. Because she decided it's not too late. You see, if we spend our lives worrying about the windows behind us that have closed, then we miss the window that is in front of us. What can we do now? Our obligation while we're on this planet is to add value to the lives of others. That's what we do on planet Earth. We find our gifts and our talents and we add value to the lives of others. That's what we do. We care about other people and we understand what makes us great. And don't be afraid of that word because you'll start to play small if you are afraid of the greatness within you. You were born with it. Watch children play. Watch children. Children know this until the adults convince them of otherwise. Children think they can do anything. Mommy, look at what I can do. Look at what I can do. Look at what I'm good at. Look at what I can do. And they run around and they're in their own world. The children are closer to the truth than adults are. You can do what you put your mind to. And not just the witnesses, there's all kinds of organizations and entities and governments. And there are all kinds of people that are after your mind. They're after your subconscious mind. They're trying to harness your energy. They're trying to harness everything about you. They're trying to suck it out. The witnesses want your energy. They want you to be small so that you give them your energy. How many times did they tell you to be sheep-like? Be sheep-like, be sheep-like. Sheep are dumb. They're not the smartest animal. A shepherd could lead a sheep right off the cliff and they just walk off. No, don't be sheep-like. You see the power of words? You see how they disempower you? By saying, be sheep-like, be sheep-like, be sheep-like. Then follow us, represent God. Then you are holding them in the reverence of a God. And you're not looking at yourself. People are not supposed to all think alike. The nice thing about being away from the witnesses is you get to decide what you buy into. Even when you listen to me speak, you don't have to agree with everything I say, and that's fine. As you go along, pick the things that resonate, leave the things out that don't resonate. It's not like the witnesses buy everything we say, reject everything else. That's when you become a sheep. Use your power of thought. Use your mind. Be free to go on your journey. Be free to change your mind. That's what freedom is I get to go on my individual journey of life. I don't have to please anyone. As you go along in life, choose to be respected over being liked. Choose to only allow people in your inner circle that support you, that have your back, that are truly friends of yours. Some of you are longing for the acceptance of people who don't accept you, who won't accept you, who will only accept you with conditions. Why would you want those people in your life? I don't want them. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're blood. If you don't accept me for me, if you don't respect my journey, because I can respect yours, if we're not playing by the same rules, I don't need you. I don't need you. Don't yearn for people who don't want you. Don't yearn for people who have an agenda. As the witnesses approach you, which they will be doing a lot, we're going to flip the script on them. If this makes sense to you, I'm going to give you some steps, and I'm going to put together a website in the next few days where you can download some of this stuff. It's going to help you a lot as they try to manipulate you, which that's what they're doing. It's manipulation. You're going to flip the script. The witnesses, my friends, are vulnerable right now. The witnesses know that it's unraveling. That's why they're doing these things. The members of the organization are unsettled. Whether they act like it or not, big changes like this make you unsure. They are vulnerable, and we are going to take advantage of this vulnerability. We're going to flip the script on them. So listen to what I'm going to say. When they approach you, if they call you, if they text you, let them know that you cannot respond right now. In your conversation, stay kind and stay loving. Wonderful to hear from you. Listen, I cannot talk right now. Can we schedule a time to speak? I don't care if it's a call or a text. Never ever take the call on their terms because they're popping up on you and you don't expect it, so you won't be prepared. They have all the leverage. Always get them to agree to a scheduled call. If they approached you, they'll probably be happy to say yes because they have an agenda. And then you say this. You say, okay, great. So Friday at 9 o'clock, I'm going to send you something um, from me that I want you to read before our call. Don't worry. It's not too heavy. Just make light of it. And then you send them this. And I'll have this so that all of you can access this. It's still a rough draft. I still got to clean it up. But it's something like this. Thank you for reaching out to me. I've missed you, and I'm sure you missed me as well. I'm not going to pretend to not know the purpose of your suddenly reaching out to me. It is attached to an agenda, and we both know what that is. In the years since we have talked, I have learned to love myself, and I have learned to respect myself. I have also learned the meaning of unconditional love, something I incorporate into my life. I also have learned my value and what I'm worthy of. I am aware of the things I will and will not tolerate. Here are a few of those things. All of my relationships are mutually respectful. All of my relationships are reciprocal, which means we play by the same rules. The people that I have in my life today, we agree to disagree and accept it without making the other person wrong. My relationships are free of any agendas, and it's based on true unconditional love. You see, I've grown a lot since we've last talked, and I live a life of a kind of clarity that I never had when we last spoke. I like me. My hope is that your contacting me was not purely agenda based. My hope is that you truly love me like I love you. If you really care about my life as I care about you, I am really excited and look forward to our upcoming conversation. If you decide to forego our scheduled conversation, then that will tell me everything was about agenda. and not about me at all. I would trust that you are a genuine soul. Thank you for taking the time to read this. I love you and I look forward to catching up. You just took all the power. You just took away their agenda. They've already agreed to speak to you. Now what? You just filtered the agenda out. You showed them love. You weren't mean to them. You showed them your boundaries. You showed them who you are. You showed them something that they weren't used to, a kind of strength that they're not used to. And if they call you, yeah, you'll have an interesting conversation. If they don't call you, then it wasn't real anyway. And you got around the agenda. But it's always about taking the power. You see, you don't want to, when you're triggered, the only way you're triggered is if you come down to their level. Okay? What you want to be is a light. You want to shine that light down. You want to stay here, and I'm shining my light down. And when I shined my light, your agenda was exposed. Okay. What am I going to say? Oh my God. I was full of an agenda. They don't even know that. They're told that what they're doing is loving. They don't even see it as an agenda. Your light showed, yeah, I had an agenda. Some of them that are more friends will go, yeah, I miss my friend. Oh my God, she sounds amazing. I'm going to create a PDF of this so y'all can have a copy and you can customize it to yourself, but have the gist of it and just customize it yourself. We are going to take advantage and outsmart them. The first step is to get in your strength and get in your power. The first step is to see that you can create something new. That's the journey here, is to create something new, is to become something new, to stop being a caterpillar in caterpillar world, worrying about caterpillars and what, no, being a butterfly. See, what this is, hey, I'm a butterfly now. I'm not a caterpillar. When we talk on Friday, you're talking to a butterfly. I want you to know that. I know who I am. I know how beautiful these spots are. I know how these beautiful wings. Be prepared because that's what's coming on Friday. A butterfly is coming to talk to your caterpillar self. And if you see me, you want to be a butterfly too, because they are vulnerable right now. If you deliver your message with love, this is a movement, everyone. This is a movement of love. This here is a movement of love. And we could use all your help, even with this group, because so many new people are coming in. Everyone's at different levels. If you've been here a while, contribute to the page. Share things that are inspiring. Share things that lift people up. Raise the vibration of the group. A lot of people don't understand why the group is run the way it's run. They don't get it. For me, it's all frequency and vibration. Because when you don't feel good, when a group is heavy and negative, people don't stick around. They love it for about 2 weeks, a month. They vent, and they go, I can't take this anymore. They leave. Other groups don't grow. There's so many groups that don't grow because it's negative. And there are a lot of people that show up on the scene and they're making YouTube videos and they're the new, apostate dude. Everybody's watching their videos. They don't last. Watch them. They go away because they can't take it. It's a negative vortex. You can only do it for so long. They burn out. And the only reason why I haven't burned out is because I keep the vibration high. I'm not here. It's a little bit different here because other XJW groups are normally started by someone who's angry. And they want the forum for other people who feel like this. I am not angry. I never was angry. I did not start this because I needed it. I was over this stuff. I didn't even want to do this. I feel a calling to do this. I want to do my motivational speaking on the strip here in Vegas. I want to go to happy conventions, but this is a calling because this is needed. So this is not, I'm not an angry XJW. If I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't be on any pages. I wouldn't read anything. I don't care. Even what's happening right now in the witness world, it doesn't affect me. I could care less. But I know that this is a calling. I know that my history and my background is for a reason. And it helps me to not waste those 30 something years of being a witness where I can use it to help other people. But if I shine my light as bright as I could shine it, then that helps others to shine their light as bright as they could shine it. And then this movement, by more of you sharing what's inspiring to you and what lifts you up and what's good about your world, when we get more people doing that, more people make the shift quickly because we're always getting new people into our group and they've got to acclimate, right? And a lot of people don't understand why we do what we do, but it's all about energy, frequency, vibration, because that's what that governing body fears. Truly empowered people. They don't fear angry ex-witnesses. That just fits the story. Right? Oh my God, they're coming after us. These apostates. When you come with love, they don't know what to do. I had a conversation with my dad 2 weeks ago now. And I was delivering what I was saying with love, but it was stiff. My dad's an elder. He sat there for an hour and a half and did not say one word. He didn't know what to say because there's nothing to say. He did not know where to attach himself. You see, I'm the only one in my family that's not a witness. My two brothers are elders. My sister's a very strong witness too. You know why my dad has a hard time cutting me off? And he's heard it all from me. Because though I am the pain in his butt, I'm the only one that consistently says, I love you. I'm the only one who consistently tells him the things he's done right. I'm the only one who consistently reaches out and says, how you doing? He hears all my other stuff too, right? I'm honest with him. I'm not trying to wake him up. He's 84, but I'm honest about everything. But I give him love. I'm the most loving person in his life. Even if you're being shunned, you must stay love. I've seen a lot of comments in the group where people were kind of like, if their family did wake up, they'd kind of tell them to shove it. No, don't do that. They're under a spell. They're under a spell. If you want something in life, you must become the thing that you want. If you want love, you must become love. Or else you're playing the same game. Or else you're at the same frequency level. What you want, you must become. And I'll tell you now, get ready for the mass exodus. I guarantee you that in the next 5 years, that religion will be a shadow of itself. Get ready. So stop worrying about them so much and get yourself ready. Get yourself in a good place. Get yourself to where you're thriving, not just surviving. So when that mass exodus of people come, you know how to lead them. How many people wake up, are unhappy, their lives are a mess still? I mean, mine was. We all usually go through that. Your life is a mess and you want to wake other people up. They don't want to follow you. You're angry. They don't want to follow you. People don't want to follow angry people. Focus on yourself. Get through the stages. Remember, there are 5 stages that you go through. Stage 1 is a stage of doubt. You usually go through that while you're still in it. Maybe some of you went through it when you first got out. Stage 2 is a stage of fear. You fear losing everything you know. You fear losing your family. You fear losing your community. And you fear losing the only belief system you've known. Stage 2 goes to stage 3. Stage 3 is a stage of anger and resentment. Ooh, man, you get angry. You get angry because no one's listening to you when you speak to them. You get angry because you know you got valid things to say and they're just shutting you down. You get angry because you really go down the rabbit hole now and you find out all these things you didn't know about this religion that you would have given your life for. And you're like, oh my God, I never knew this was right under the surface. It pisses you off. The problem is most ex-witnesses stay in stage 3 forever. Stage 4 is a stage of discovery. Wipe the chalkboard clean. Open your mind to information, to knowledge. You don't have to buy everything. Just know what is. Stop making assumptions like when you're a witness where it's all right and wrong. It's like take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Get out there and get to know people. Get out there and discover things. Just get curious about life. Witnesses aren't curious. That's why witnesses are the same people at 80 as they were at 30. They're just old. Then you go to stage 5. Stage 5 is the stage of I amness. I am. The words that follow I am. I am is the two most powerful words in the human language because what follows I am becomes powerful. For some people right now, they're saying, I am worthless. I am nobody. I am. All those things that you use after the words I am will cast a spell on your life. When you start saying, I am wonderful, I am powerful, I'm a great human being, I add value to the lives of others, I am. When you know what those words should be, your life will absolutely change. When you understand the power of words, even when you were a witness, right? And the word was God. The power of words. These are powerful things to understand, my friends. Getting to a point where they have no power over you, where you've expanded beyond, not kicked out. When some people, I disassociated myself, I dropped out. Like you go here. It's still big, you're small, little you drops here. I got kicked out, little you drops here. This big organization. And you want to fight this thing that's so big and it's anger makes you angry. No. You leave, you expand. You get bigger. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller. It's nonsense. Get smaller and smaller and smaller. And you've seen me say this before. Stop trying to make sense of nonsense. It's all stupid. So it doesn't affect me. It's all dumb. Put no energy into it. I don't try to understand stupid things. Allow yourself to expand. Allow yourself to be in your bigness. Allow yourself to be in alignment with who you are. Now, understand this. As you get in alignment with yourself, as you become more of yourself, there will be people that you disappoint. You cannot be in alignment with self and not disappoint people. It's the difference between being a tree that's in a pot and a tree that is rooted in the ground. If you want to be a giant oak tree, you cannot be in a pot. And if you want to be a giant oak tree, you are going to stand firm. It's immovable. Some people won't like you that you're right there and they can't move you. So understand this. Stop living your life to please other people. Listen to the voice that's inside you. That's an intuition. That's your inner GPS system. Stop ignoring that. The witnesses told you the heart is treacherous. Don't trust yourself. Trust us. That's stupid. You have an inner guidance system. Begin to listen to it and begin with the desire of. In closing, my friends, just do this first step. Begin with the desire of. Don't worry if you haven't mastered something. Don't worry if you don't know all the answers. What you need in life is to know what you want and to know why you want it. What you want and why you want it. What you don't need to know is how you're going to get it. The what, the why. When you know the what and the why, then the how will come. In the people, opportunity, and circumstances that cross your path as you're moving along. That's why when you were witnesses, they took a scripture and they misapplied it. It said faith without works is dead. That wasn't about field service. That wasn't about your kingdom activities. That means if you believe something, you move in the direction of what you believe. Your actions will show how much you believe this. And if you're moving, if you are in motion, then you create it. If you're not in motion, you really don't believe. That's what that meant. You are the creator of your own experience. Stop wallowing in what you missed in life. Stop wallowing about the things you lost in life. Life is not fair for anyone. First of all, grasp that. It's not fair. Life on planet Earth is a life of duality. We all have challenges in life. It's who we become on the other side of each challenge that matters. If you get through the challenge, a better version of you awaits on the other side. So stop letting this religion control your life. Stop letting this religion make you feel like you're lesser than, because you're not. My friends, thank you so much. I know that was a lot today. I was just on my heart. Last night, I just had something come through me that says this is a message that needs to go out, hence no panel today. But thank you for watching, my friends. Again, not everything has to resonate. Remember, when you watch things, you don't have to accept everything. Just take the parts that you resonate with, leave out the rest, and it's okay. Okay, that is a part of growth, right? Take care. Have a great, happy Sunday.